There's growing research indicating that pesticides, especially glyphosate, which is Roundup, are harmful for our health, particularly for our little ones' health because they are still developing. So, what toxins that they're exposed to can have a longer effect on them because they are, their cells are turning over so quickly, their brains are expanding, their bodies are growing, and this is a time that you have to be really careful with what they're exposed to. So there's a few different things that are concerning about pesticides and our little ones. So I'd just like to go through a few of them. For one, they're associated with neurological issues. So pesticides are associated with like attention issues, learning issues, even like later in life issues like Alzheimer's and chronic diseases. There's becoming more and more connection between these. So what do pesticides do to us and our little ones' brains and bodies? For one, they impair our microbiome, so that delicate balance of, bacteria and all the good guys in there in our digestive system. They can kind of deteriorate that and really impair it. So that makes us more susceptible to other health problems, as well as if that is impacted, we're seeing a correlation between gut issues being connected to brain issues. So we really want to keep that system healthy for for our brain, for our gut, but also for all the rest of our bodies. And then pesticides, they also impact on a number of detoxifying enzymes and pathways in our body. So if our body can't detoxify properly, then when we are exposed to other environmental toxins, which unfortunately in our society we just are, that's just the reality. If these systems are impaired, then the body has more trouble processing the toxins as well. They may end up storing more of them, which we don't want that either. And they also disrupt our hormones. So pesticides are hormonal disruptors, and hormonal disruptors are not great for us as adults, and they're definitely not great for our kids. So for us, they can cause lots of different issues, and a big one is reproductive issues and fertility problems. But there's a host of other issues with them too. And then for our little ones, if they're exposed to endocrine disruptors or hormone disruptors at a really young age, these can impact on their brain development. So it can impact on their learning, their memory, their attention, and hyperactivity issues can kind of come out. So it's not great. And also pesticides are showing a correlation, research is showing a correlation between pesticides and inflammation in the body. So when our bodies are inflamed, we're more likely to develop chronic disease or be more susceptible to chronic disease. And then also when our brains are inflamed, we're more likely to have mental health issues and neurological issues. So depression, anxiety, not able to cope with stress as much, even memory issues and attention issues. And that's the same for our little ones. So if they're exposed to pesticides or other things that inflame their brain at a really young age, it's going to make it really hard for them to develop those parts of the brain that help with memory and with attention and to develop good mental health. And then finally, pesticides can they can lead to nutritional deficiencies. So how this happens is our body sees pesticides and other environmental toxins as foreign invaders of the body. So our body then uses lots of energy and a number of key nutrients, say zinc and magnesium. Those are two of the biggies. And they use lots of these to process whatever the toxin in this case pesticides, and get it out of the body. And that's great, that's what we want our body to do, but unfortunately this is leading to some depletion of these minerals, especially zinc and magnesium, because these are minerals that most of us are pretty low, depleted, or even deficient in already. So we don't want to put that further strain on our bodies to use these to get rid of pesticides. So, and also when we don't have magnesium, we're not sleeping very well, we don't have very good energy, neither do our kids. They're generally not very calm if they don't have their magnesium, and it's like magnesium is really important in like hundreds of different processes in the body. And then zinc too, it's used in so many, I think about over 200 different systems or pathways in your body use zinc. So it's really, really important. It's really important for our immune system. So if we don't want our kids getting sick, honestly, zinc just seems to be really useful for like almost everything for our children. I swear, zinc and magnesium. If our kids have good levels of that, they are just like calmer, happier, and more like have more robust immune systems. So that's something that we all want, right? So those are a few key things that pesticides do to our bodies and our little ones' bodies and brains. So just to go over that, they impair our microbiome. They inhibit a number of our detoxifying pathways and enzymes. They disrupt our hormones, so they're endocrine disruptors, and they cause inflammation, and they can lead to nutritional deficiencies. So these aren't great things for us as parents just trying to survive parenthood and life, and also it's not great for our little ones as their brains develop and their bodies develop. We want to give them the best environment to be able to have those really, really strong immune systems, be able to not be fighting learning issues or having inflammation in their brain that's impeding their enjoyment of life or their attention. So a few things that we can do is we just stop buying things with pesticides in them. Easier said than done, but we can move in that direction. So looking more and more for organic products. So that's not just fruits and vegetables, but that's also like grains, the breads that you buy, if you're buying any cereals or mueslis, like looking for ones with organic ingredients in them. And then even moving further from that, having your own little veggie patch, even if you're using a few ingredients that aren't sprayed with anything, that's brilliant. Getting to know the farmers at your farmers markets, and usually there you can get lots of different options that are spray-free for a much cheaper cost than organic at the grocery store. And then even further, looking for products that are biodynamic, or they're grown in more of a permaculture way, or regenerative agriculture. These are all ways that help the environment, but they also really, really support our health and our children's development. So they may cost a little bit more, they may take a bit more time to seek out, but they're pretty convenient once you kind of have your routine weekly with getting your vegetables at the farmer's market or grabbing a few things in your own garden, and they're so worth it. So I'd love to hear what you're doing for supporting your kids' brain development and how you go about reducing the exposure to pesticides.